tonight for a little NASCAR 07 Truck Series action at the Michigan International Speedway for tonight's Michigan 200. A quick 100-lap sprint race here in this one. This is a full race. I call it a sprint race because this isn't going to be a very long one. This race probably only going to be about an hour or so. And we're starting at the tail end of the field. No practice, no qualifying, coming in off a 14th place finish in the last Truck Series race, where we went from over a 100-point lead now down to 49 points. Bo Phillips, who won the last race, has now 4 wins on the season. He's actually won the last 2 races, so he's trying to go for 3 wins in a row here today. We're sitting at 3 wins on the year, so although we're leading in points, we're not leading in the wins total. So that's a little weird, because usually it's the other way around for me, at least on NASCAR 07. But we'll see how this is going to go about. Starting at the back in a short race, I don't have high hopes. And the only reason is because my intermediate program in the Truck Series seems to be a little off. We have not won on an intermediate track yet on this Truck Series season. Let's see here. Martinsville, Old Spice Speedway, Met tracks. We've been good on the intermediate tracks in the finishing position outside of Texas, where we finished 14th in the last race. But before that, 4th at Dover, which is kind of like an overgrown short track, but 2nd at Charlotte, 2nd at Atlanta, 4th at California on the other 2-mile oval earlier this season. So, let's get this thing underway. Enough of me rambling. Wade Selinsky, thanks for tuning in. And green flag's in the air. Scott Legacy Jr. in the 04 truck going to be on the pole in this one. Should be a quick one-stop race. I would imagine that we should be able to go 50 laps on a full field run here. That's the plan, at least. And if we can't, then it's a 2-stop race. This one only 200 miles, so I would imagine that we can make this on 1 stop. Already a lot of 3-wide action at the very tail end of the field here. Ted Musgrave did not fire off on that initial start very well. And Legacy, despite starting on the pole, will not lead the opening lap of the race, as it looks like Bill Lester is going to lead a lap. I didn't have to go that far. I over-exaggerated what was happening in front of me. All I saw was white smoke, and I wanted to get to the apron ASAP. I got scared. Not sure how that happened, but we had a bit of a checkup. About 2/3 of the way down the front stretch. Musgrave picks up 3 positions at the very least. I felt it was a little too tight when I was at California Speedway from what I remembered earlier in the season. So on this 2-mile oval at Michigan, I tried to be a little more aggressive with maybe having the truck more on the free side. It's not a long race, so I might be able to get away with it, hopefully. Going to pass on Timothy Peters. We're going to get to the inside of the 135 truck, side by side for 31st. So Lester is able to lead the first 2 laps. Bobby Hamilton in the 18 truck out in front into turn 3. He's going to try to lead his first lap of the race. He's side by side with Lester. Lester's got the nose out in front off turn 4. And it looks like at the start-finish line, Lester's still going to lead the lap. So Hamilton not able to get 5 bonus points yet. Interested to know where Bo Phillips is running off the start in this one. When you see him qualifying, you don't get the qualifying order at the top of the screen. It just shows practice times. His qualifying hadn't happened yet. So no clue exactly where he's running. Aggressive move to go 3 wide at the bottom there by Musgrave. Again, not a long race, so really trying to do what we can to push the issue, maybe be a little aggressive. Got to do it cleanly, of course. Don't need to damage this truck up at all costs. 3 wide and tight into the corner, and couldn't hold that bottom line. Had to let the 163 truck go. So he carries a little bit more mid-corner speed. Cleared the truck to the very outside, though, for 28, so he made 1 pass. Gonna run on the 163 again. This time into 3 and 4. Musgrave drives it in a little deeper that time. Try to side draft. Middle of the corner. And was able to do just that and clear. Got to be aggressive at the right times when trying to make the pass. That's the key. I should know by now that these AI... Oh, man, there was a big stack up off turn 2. I don't know what happened, but it's going to work out for Ted Musgrave. I mean, we picked up about a half a dozen positions on the back straightaway alone. Looks like they're still trying to get some momentum back. That outer lane, Musgrave already up to 19th. Always want to win at my home track here at Michigan. I believe it's Ted Musgrave's home track. I don't even know where Ted Musgrave's from, to be completely honest, so I don't know what his home track would be. Honestly, never would have thought in these classic playthroughs that I would have ever been driving as Ted Musgrave to try to win a truck championship, but you guys voted for me to race as him, so. Honestly, oh boy, that was very tight. We were committed getting back into the gas when we did. Luckily, the truck does have quite a bit of grip. Just got to hope I don't get loose in the long run. 3 wide up in front of Musgrave. Teammate Tom Bodine just up ahead. Musgrave underneath him. Van Dyke in the 139. Tried to wreck us a few times in the last race at Texas. He may try to wreck us here. Musgrave underneath with the little side draft. Yep, there's the side swipe. Musgrave hangs on to his race truck and completes the pass, I believe, into turns 3 and 4. Now we just got to hope he doesn't turn us. He's stuck on the high side still. Now he's got another truck underneath him. I was ready for it. Allergies. That stinks. I know those days. I have far too many of those days. Bad allergy days. And the Tigers lost today. Sounds like you're suffering. I think the 101 truck is out in the lead. The Walmart truck out in front on lap 10 at Michigan. I don't know who drives that truck off the top of my head. I only know some of these fantasy drivers' first and last names. That truck I'm not too familiar with. We don't usually see him at the front of the field. I think that's part of the problem why I don't know what his name is. If they're not a rival with us, or running at the front of the field on a consistent basis, I don't know who they are. Lead trucks up here. One of the few times, though, I actually have speed on a 2-mile oval. I think I actually nailed the setup this time. Musgrave's about to crack the top 10. Arrival up on the outside. Gonna have to be careful. Drafted behind this truck just up ahead. Big time runs. Only truck we made contact with was Van Dyke when he tried to bash the right side of the truck in when we were on the back straightaway a few laps ago. As a rival, but that's it. Go to bed early tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna stay up at least watch some of the football game. I've got Josh Allen on my fantasy league and my work league. I also got Kane running back for Miami on both of my leagues. He might not even play. I have to keep an eye on that. I know he's questionable. I gotta be ready to take him out of my lineup if he's not playing. This stream should be done before the race starts, easily. Starting at 6. Which I had 7 on the streaming schedule at the beginning of the week, but then I set it for 6. I'm like, I'll just stick with 6 then, because we've had 6 the entire week up to this point. It'd just be easy for you guys. So I was accidentally set it to 6 on top of that. That 116 truck, I believe, is Parker. very tight here. Musgrave trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. So we got Scott Legacy back in the lead. Gotta hope that Parker doesn't completely sideswipe Musgrave, and he does, down into the grass. Musgrave slides, but hangs on. And that's gonna cost him a ton of time. Truck bottoming out, getting back to the asphalt. What a slide, what a save, no caution. And all the way back to 16th goes Ted Musgrave. Hopefully, the tires are still underneath it. I'll tell you what, I see him again. Well, you gotta be careful. Now we're 3 wide. I'm still trying to get... We didn't even get a lap let in before that happened either. I really hope the tires are still underneath the truck. We have a looser balance setup as it is. The truck felt good up to this point, but I hadn't slid the tires like that the entire day until then. I was honestly afraid I was going to loop it back around when I got down to the grass and come back across the track. I thought for a split second when it started to hang a right, I was like, oh, keep it down there, keep it down there. I was willing to just ride it out in the grass until I got to the pavement towards the end of pit road, because otherwise I think it was going to loop around on me. Tomorrow's Cup race, 100% on NASCAR 7. Yep. Yeah, my last 50% race for the Cup Series is the first Pocono race. And I'll probably do the last 50% truck race sometime this weekend in cohesion with the live commentary streams, because I know that race could be like really, really short, so I don't want to make it a stream of its own. I'm not sure when I'll fit it in yet, but... Man, fell all the way back to 16th. I don't know how far off the lead we are. I haven't looked at the interval yet. More focused on just trying to get the momentum back up again. Truck definitely feels a little looser, but it doesn't feel terrible right now. I'm just hoping... I mean, we got to go at least 50 laps, so... Trying to make this thing on one stop. Who's ready for Watkins Glen? I definitely am. Oh, wow. The 101 truck got up against the wall off turn 2 and another stack up. That's the third time we've seen a stack up somewhat in front of us. Not quite clear of Hornaday yet down into the corner. Now we're clear. Back up to 11th. Locking the 130 Ford truck, trying to hang on in front of him. A little under 3.5 seconds off the lead. It's wiggling a little, I'm not going to lie. Like I said, it's not unsteady yet, but I don't think the tires are underneath it like it was. And we're still pretty early. I mean, we're in the first half of this fuel run, so I don't like that it's this loose already. It would have been fine if we didn't get body slammed into the grass. That was a whale of a shot we took. I mean, the truck doesn't have much damage. So that's a plus. One truck just dropped out of the lead pack. And it's Bobby Hamilton and the 18, and that will get us back in the top 10, at least for right now. So Bobby Hamilton in the 18 has blown a motor, as he has done several times already this season. It's been a tough year for Bobby. Still winless through the first 10 races. And he'll definitely drop out of the top 5 in points. He'd probably be right. Honestly, if it wasn't for his DNFs, he gets good finishes outside of that, even though he hasn't won yet. Oh, wow. So it looks like it is going to be a two-stop race. Bobby Hamilton just hit the halfway mark on fuel, and we're still at lap 21. So I thought it was going to be an easy one-stop race. Looks like it's going to be a two-stopper here today at MIS. Hamilton just finally making it to pit road. He blew his motor in turns 1 and 2. Had to go most of the way around the track. Parker Kligerman retiring from NASCAR racing. I heard something about that. I'm shocked, honestly. I mean, he's been so close so many times to getting that first career Xfinity win. The only thing I could think of is he probably doesn't want to be stuck in the Xfinity series the rest of his career, and I'm going to assume that if he can't make it to Cup, he knows he's got a good TV job that probably pays more than what he is getting paid for driving Xfinity Series full-time, if I'm being honest. You know, work a half a season for NBC and get paid more than what you're driving in the car, you know, for 30-something odd weeks of the season, especially if he has a family. I don't know if he's got kids or anything, but because he's still relatively young, isn't he? I think he's in his early 30s yet. All right, so Todd Bodine blew an engine, it looks like, as well. So 3 trucks are out of the race all of a sudden. And with that being said, it looks like we're not going to have a field pass today with Bodine being done. So 3 trucks are out. We got to about 3 seconds off the lead. We pretty much stayed there. Kind of slowly closing in on some of these trucks ahead of us, but not as much on the lead. 2 trucks side by side in front of us as Musgrave sails it off into turn 3. Almost allowed Hornaday to get underneath him. That was close. Kligerman's 34. He's a little older than I thought. I guess he has been around for a minute. He was in the Truck Series, Red Horse Racing. I know he was there in the early 2010s because that's when he won some of his races there. He might have even started there late 2000s. Not sure how old he was when he first started running trucks. Oh, that was a bad block. That was terrible. Musgrave getting blocked into the wall and loses multiple positions. I'm tired of getting slammed into in this race. What is this? He was blocking me low, so I went high, and then he blocked me into the wall. Hornaday just passed me and those 2 trucks that get slowed down in the process, so he gets 3 free positions. FCW taking over after this weekend for Xfinity. It'll be that way for the next 7 years. 7 years and 8 races. Fastest lap of the race that last time by for Musgrave. So now back to 12th is Ted. Clear for 11th. I'm hoping that these guys can also, or are also going to have to pit twice. I really hope that nobody's going to be able to stretch this run all the way out. Because we know for a fact Ted Musgrave is not going to be able to do that. Three wide initially, just couldn't carry that momentum all the way off the exit of turn 2. Just had to hop back in the draft. Oh boy. Quite a bit of contact with the 178 truck. That was Musgrave overdriving the entry to turn 3, and that knocked that truck up against the wall, and he lost a bunch of spots. Poor guy. He didn't deserve that. Parker deserved it. And this 139 truck who blocked me into the wall. Musgrave still trying to get by him. I can't get alongside of him anymore. I got beside him that one time. We got blocked into the fence. There we go. Got to run underneath him again, I think. Nope, not quite. That didn't work. Just trying to intimidate him and get him loose. Quarter tank of gas left this point in the run. Well, at least Bo Phillips isn't leading. Who is this guy? Irvin. W. Irvin. Musgrave had a decent run headed into turn 1 and again a late block. That one at least he was clear again. Musgrave extremely low off turn 2 and he threatened to make contact with me again. I saw that. Kligerman 18 in the Xfinity Series. Wow. So he's definitely been around longer than I thought. I didn't realize he was that young when he started in NASCAR. Even still. I've had a tickle in my nose since about a couple minutes before the stream started. It's not to the point where I have an urge to sneeze, but very itchy. Not enough straightaway speed with no drafting help in front of us to make this pass. Oh, we got near contact up on front. What a move! Oh! Might have spoke a little too early. That's one way to get around him. I think Legacy and Hornaday made contact. And an evasive maneuver to get to the outside to pass 2 trucks through 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 at the time, for Ted Musgrave. Gets him to 8th. And Hornaday moving up yet another spot. Legacy trying to get underneath Lester. Musgrave going to do the same. I'm sorry. I was trying to side draft him. I was a little looser than I thought. Well, made a pass for 7th. He might cross us back over, though. He ain't done. I didn't slow him down enough. A little loose on the high side off turn 2, but we're still clear. We're good. We are good. Tires are holding up still better than I thought. sliding down in the grass. I guess he got back by Hornaday. Oh boy. As I say that, really loose getting into turn one. And Lester's going to get underneath of Musgrave as a result of that. Is he going to clear? Oh, he's not clear, but he blocks the 9 into the wall. He cleared himself. He cleared himself. I'll tell you what, man, we are getting the shit end of the stick on quite a few occasions already. My tire light's flashing. I didn't even realize that till just now. We've got blocked into the wall twice. We've got stuck down in the grass once. And again, I was in third. And we have only gotten up to 8th. Prior to green flag pit stops. Just ran our fastest lap again. Towards the end of this fuel run. I probably lifted a little too early getting into the corner there. I had positioning on him and I wasn't aggressive enough trying to make this pass. I'm going to pit at lap 40. I'm going to stay out one more lap after this, just in the hopes these trucks up ahead of us pit. Maybe we could steal 5 bonus points. 3 of them are coming in. I think the leader's staying out one more. And Musgrave's going to stay out one more as well. He's not going to lead a lap. He's going to get the second. Arcade, he was 18. Right rear just starting to wear out on the 9. Probably going to space the field out quite a bit here. Musgrave coming into the pits. Don't want to speed, and we did. Speeding on pit road for Ted Musgrave. We're going to go fuel only. Audible. We're going to audible the fuel only. We're going to put a half a round of wedge in it to try to help. So the tires were just starting to wear right before we hit pit road. Oh, man. I knew I was pushed a little hard off turn 4. I couldn't remember exactly where the commitment line was from last season. And obviously we got there sooner than I thought. I didn't see the time on the pit stop. I was hoping fuel only would help the fact that we were speeding at least a little bit. There goes the leaders. Top 2. Trying to merge ourselves back up where we were running. Oh boy, we're loose. Getting out of the pits here. Ouch. All right. Well, hopefully we get up to speed and we'll be okay. I mean, I took the audible to fuel only because I didn't want to lose track position. We were in 8th. It looks as if we fell back to 11, so we lost, with the speeding penalty, 3 positions. Which, honestly, isn't bad. But again, that's only because I went fuel only. If I would have taken tires, we probably would be well outside the top 20. So I did that for track position solely. That was not the original intent going into that stop. continue to really try to take care of these tires. .6 seconds off the lead. I think we're all right for now on tires. I don't think it's going to be that bad unless we get somebody right on our back bumper and gets us aero loose. Chapman getting held up by Legacy. The 04 truck, pole sitter, still continues to lose spots. Still didn't lead a lap. Well, Musgrave hasn't led in this race at this point either. I think Musgrave's quicker than this 190 truck. Kind of similar to the 139 in the first run, just can't get around it. We've had a lot of stack-ups off turn 2. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a caution at that side of the track at some point. We know we can go 40 laps on a full tank. This two-stop race, which again, I'm surprised. I was expecting this to be a one-stopper. But it is 2. Chapman underneath Legacy. Trying to get Legacy a little loose, and that allows for Musgrave to get underneath him. And now he's drafting off the 190 truck of Chapman, and he'll draft by Legacy. And Ted is up to 10th. I mean, it's better than 14th at Texas. We didn't lead laps in that Texas race either. This might be the second race in a row we might not lead any laps in the truck series. Good luck with my team this weekend. Yeah, I think they need to find out if Brett Favre is healthy enough to play football still. So we need a quarterback. We're going to need all the luck we can get. Indy played Houston tough last week. I'll tell you what, if Anthony Richardson plays anywhere close to what he did last weekend, at least on the stat sheet, he's going to run all over us. Green Bay's always been notorious for not being able to stop running quarterbacks. He could be a problem for us next weekend, and not having Love there, I would expect Indy to win. But I'm not saying it's not winnable for Green Bay. If Malik Willis plays well, he'll keep us in the game, but it's such a huge question mark that I would like to think that Indy would win off of that merit. Let's get kind of working together here with Chapman in the 190 truck. Couldn't get by Bill Lester, unfortunately. Just kind of drafting with these trucks in front of us, and we'll see if continue to try to get through this field. Passing was tough. Musgrave side by side with Bill Lester into turns 3 and 4. Oh, got really tight up the hill into the wall. And the 190 truck gets tight also. 50 laps complete here at Michigan. Josh Jacobs. Oh, great. Hurts us even worse. I will say he didn't get going until real late in the game. I mean, he didn't get going until the fourth quarter the other night. He's going to have to do better, I think, this weekend, for sure, from start to finish. Really, it was when the defense got tired in the fourth quarter. It was about the only time he did anything, because he only had 19 yards in the first half on like 7 carries or 9 carries, something. Like, he wasn't getting anything. He was averaging less than 2 yards a carry. I think part of the reason we're not overly loose on these old tires is because I did make the wedge adjustment on pit road. I will have to take that wedge out when we do put tires back on the race truck. At some point, we're going to have to. These tires are not going to hold on the whole race. There's no way. I mean, maybe the lefts will. The lefts haven't even gone into the yellow on the tire wear indicator yet, I don't believe. Could be wrong on that, but... Oh, no, they have. Yeah, I was wrong. All 4 of them are actually in the yellow now. Again, that fuel window is almost open. The good news is I believe we are beating Phillips. So that's huge. Even running in the back half of the top 10, it's looking as if Musgrave, if this stays green to the end, should be able to build his points lead slightly. I think Tampa's going to be tough this year. Oh, we got trouble. Nearly. Seventh place just wiped out, hit the wall, but we stayed green. No caution. Lap 55 here. Still a little outside the fuel window. I'm surprised that wasn't a yellow. That car was so jacked sideways. We've had a lot of near yellows in this race, honestly. But that's definitely the closest that we've had to caution actually happen. I don't think NASCAR gives 2 shits in this race either. Like, let them race. All right, whatever you say. Musgrave underneath Lester. Second time he's gotten side by side with him. Trying to be a little more aggressive at the side draft this time, and 190 pulled to the bottom just a bit. Musgrave might be able to stay here into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side. Musgrave trying to stay in the draft. Clear. Had that drafting help, and that allowed to clear for 8th. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to pass trucks on our own on these old tires. We just got to stay in the... We're only 2.4 seconds off the lead, even though we're in 8th, so... I think Hordaday's got the fastest truck, honestly. I think he's going to get up there and take the lead at some point, because he started towards the back. And he's definitely quicker than us. He's up to 2nd now. He hasn't led yet, but... He's getting closer. Oh, we got a near wreck. Headed into turn 3. I don't know what happened there. Musgrave up to 6th. That jacked a lot of trucks up. Oh, don't do that, dude. What are you doing? He was a rival, and he was in front of me the whole time, and now I'm in front of him. Yeah, we got to keep him behind us. Oh, he just sent us. Jeez. He acts like I hit him on purpose. What's up with these guys? Chapman and Parker. Parker threw me in the grass earlier. And Chapman just sent me in the wall. The 139 truck of V. Johnson. He blocked us in the wall earlier. Who else blocked us in the wall? Was it Bill Lester? Somebody else blocked me in the wall at one point, too. I think it was Lester. Yeah, it was Lester. He tried the slide job, and he wasn't clear off turn 2. Well. Lost our drafting help. Back to 9th place again for Ted Musgrave. Got really tight. Almost flipped it. That was on me. I should have lifted. I'm just driving ticked off, and that's not making me any better. Well, we're in the fuel window. 40 to go. I mean, we can pit now and make it. We're probably going to end up going a lap down, but... I don't know. I think... Contemplating it, I'm not going to lie. Maybe go a couple extra laps just to ensure we'll be plenty good on fuel. Hornaday did get to the lead, by the way. He just made the pass this lap off turn 2, so... Hornaday out in front for the first time in the race. He's going to be tough to beat the rest of the way. I mean, if we pit and go lap down and get a caution, we would be in the free pass position because there's nobody else that's a lap down. We're going to continue to lose time on older tires. Maybe we get some time back by pitting early for 4. I don't know. 8 seconds off the lead. It's a tough decision, that's for sure. I think we got to stay out. I think the best thing for us was stay out. Hopefully we catch a caution. That's going to be our best chance to try to win this thing, I think. Because the caution now versus the lap down just to get the free pass back, you know, we'd be at the back of the pack still. Versus in this situation, we could try to drive back up there again. Caution comes out in the middle of green flag stops and we trap a few extra trucks to lap down. That would be even better. Although I don't know how many trucks are actually going to go lap down here. Why are you giving me New Jersey Devils news? That's random. That's really random. Not even a Devils fan. Third of the race to go. Ted Musgrave is in danger of potentially having back-to-back finishes outside the top 10. 14th at Texas, the intermediate track program not getting any better. And I hate to break it to all of us here, but we got more intermediate tracks left on the schedule. A lot more. Honestly, with what we've seen so far today, I don't even know that we catch a caution. I got really loose off turn 2 that time. I think I got aero loose. The old Ford truck got right on my back bumper, and I think he took some air off the rear spoiler. This might be the first race that we see a non-fantasy driver win other than Musgrave. Hard to believe it's taken 10 races to get to this point, but Hornaday definitely has the fastest truck here, and now he's leading. And has been leading for about 12 laps now. He took the lead at lap 57. "31 laps to go." Overdrove turn 3 and 4. I think we're going to lose the draft of the two trucks in front of us now. Well, did the best I could. Honestly, if it wasn't for the speeding penalty, we'd only be... Well, granted, I would have taken tires. Probably be in a little bit better position. If we had fresh Goodyears. Quarter of a tank of gas left. .7 seconds behind Ron Hornaday. Everybody not named Ron Hornaday is hoping we get a caution. Which would also, by the way, be our first caution-free truck race on the season. 100% truck race, that is, to go caution-free. Musgrave getting passed on the outside through 1 and 2 by the 139 of Irvin. Somebody to stay in the draft with again. At least until he pits. Started seeing trucks pit around lap 37 earlier. And everybody has to pit one more time, well within the fuel window to make it to the end. Have been for about 14 laps now. I still think we're ahead of Bo Phillips, though. This is a huge race for somebody to try to capitalize for points that isn't in the top two. Bobby Hamilton blew an engine fifth in points coming in as well. Parker has been up towards the front of the field for most of this race. I think he was in that truck that was leading all those laps before Hornaday took the lead. So if he ends up second, he can really eat into that deficit quite a bit. Saw a truck just come down to pit road. That last lap towards the tail end of the field might have some of the leaders pitting very soon, maybe this time by. I thought it was somebody else that blew an engine. Could have been. No, I don't think it was. We got a few trucks ahead of us pitting. Not a lot, but a few. 24 laps to go at the line. Right rear's in the red on the tire wear indicator. We're going to try to go to lap 80, make it another 40 lap stint, just in case we get a caution. Because we're far enough behind the leader, we'll definitely go a lap down. Honestly, if I can get up to speed enough, maybe keep the tires underneath us. Maybe we go fuel only to try to get a top 10. As long as I don't speed. I think we get somebody behind us, and we get aero loose, and we're in trouble, but... I don't know, that's the only way I see us losing a bunch of positions. Fuel indicator just went flashing red. Coming to lap 79. Musgrave already back in the top 10. There's at least one truck out ahead of us. 5 of them. Again, Musgrave has not led in this race. I'm going to pit this time. I'm going to be safe for fuel. I think I'm banking on this race going caution-free to the checker. I think we're going to go fuel only again. Locking the tires up. I sped. It wasn't even close that time. My gosh. That was way worse than the first one. I was trying to really go for it. I should have known. Oh, boy. Now the fuel only stop. I don't know why I'm putting a full tank in. I probably could have gotten away with 3/4 of a tank. 5-second penalty. It's just going to nullify itself again. You know, I'm willing to risk it. I wasn't running good as it was. Hoping I could maybe get a couple more positions out of it. The right rear tire better make it to the end of the race. That's the only other thing. Oh my gosh. Well, that ain't gonna help it. Had to speed again. 2 pit stops, 2 speeding penalties. I mean, we'll never know what strategy call would have been the right one. I didn't realize we still had trucks that hadn't pit yet. Oh, you know what? The 101 right in front of us hasn't pit yet. So we're actually a lap down. Looks like he's coming in this time. I got stuck on the outside of the truck coming out of the pits. Yeah, so 101 truck is pitting. Musgrave back on the lead lap finally. I'm doing a good job of making the right adjustments with the wedge to try to help mitigate the truck being potentially loose on these very old tires. 17 laps to go at the line. Musgrave in 17th. 101 truck trying to get up to speed yet. Should get by him on the back stretch. That would be for 16th. Well, maybe we won't get by him. No, we're not. Never mind. Yeah, he got up to speed a lot quicker than I thought. As long as I keep the truck underneath me, I think fuel only is going to actually help me in the positioning order just because we sped again. Because if I would have taken tires... Honestly, if I would have taken tires both pit stops, speeding both times, I'd probably finish right around 30th. I'm not going to kid you. That has helped our race, although that doesn't. That's the 3rd time I've done that today. I'm scared to lift. To be fair, that's happened to me twice. Not counting the time I got shoved into the grass, so... we might be even 3-3. Even though the guys I've done that to were innocent bystanders. '19th. Yeah, even with the wedge adjustments, I'm still shocked, as old as the tires are. I mean, it's kind of insane. We're going to go this whole race without pitting for tires. I think if we get a caution, I'm pitting. Because I am going to get eaten alive on the restart. Tough spot to be in, I guess. Put myself in this position. If I didn't speed on pit road, Honestly, if I didn't speed on pit road, we'd probably have a chance at a top 10 still. This is going to be an even worse finish than Texas. I wonder if Phillips is one of the trucks at DNF. We have 4 drivers out of the race. We know Bobby Hamilton's one of them. We don't know about the others. These 2 trucks in front of us crossing each other over back and forth. The Musgrave is caught up to them battling for position. Ooh, Ted got a little loose off turn 4 that time. That's the first time it snapped on me like that on this side of the fuel run. Well, they're going to cross each other over again and get side by side again. Them just draft with each other down the backstretch. Musgrave trying to hang in there. Truck's definitely freeing up. 11 to go. Lightning McQueen 2.0 by not taking tires? I guess. Guess you're right. It'd be Lightning McQueen 2.0 if I blow all my tires before the end of the race. It's not impossible that I don't blow that right rear out before the finish. If I get really, really loose, that might have been, at that point, the 9th life. Luckily, the couple times I've hit the wall, it's because I've actually been kind of tight once I make contact with another truck. So I haven't really burnt the rear tires off of it as much, which is why I'm even able to do this in the first place. I don't know how I'm going to make these passes, but I mean, there's a chance we can pick up a few more spots here before the finish, too. We'll bump draft down the back straightaway. Yeah, screw pitting if a caution comes out now. I mean, now we don't even have enough laps left to have that actually help us. Door slam. Musgrave trying to make this pass for position and does. Pretty good corner through 3 and 4. The truck in line behind just picks a different lane. And we don't get aero loose. That'll also help the tires. Can't help us from potentially wrecking. Eight to go. Got 16th and 17th right in front of Musgrave. Into turns 1 and 2. He was sliding the tires a little bit in the center of the corner there. Most of the way through the corner. 135 underneath the 153 side by side. That'll slow both trucks up quite a bit. Into turns 3 and 4. Musgrave washes up the track. Got really tight in the dirty air. Bounces off the wall. And the truck behind him is going to close the gap again. 7 to go. A little 4-truck battle for 16th here at the end of the race. 16.5 seconds off the lead. This truck is starting to snap on me a little more. Now I did it on corner entry. By the way, Hornaday did not cycle back into the lead after the pit stops, which I'm surprised. I had to hit the brakes a lot more that time getting into the corner. Trying to keep from sliding up into the side of that truck, and we did make the slide job pass for 17th. Had that drafting help off the exit of turn 4 with the truck in front of us. And there's enough to fight another corner. Right back to where Musgrave initially cycled out of the pits. Closer I get behind the next truck in front of us, I get tight, getting in, and then loose middle off. I'm trying to stay to the back bumper of this 135 so I can pull the two trucks behind us. There we get loose in the center of the corner again. That was a big slide. There was some puffy white smoke. Okay, we got drafting help behind us. Slight bit of drafting help in front of us. I don't think I've cleared that truck underneath yet. Nope, I did not. I slammed him into the corner, then I got loose. And now we're 3 wide. And now we're side by side, but I'm on the outside. 4 to go. Lost a spot. Better than wrecking. End up like our teammate Todd Bodine in DNF. I think that next truck up ahead of us, up in front of the 135 specifically for position, I think he had hit the wall off turn 2. Musgrave was bump drafting the truck in front of him all the way down the backstretch, and it gets these two trucks now side by side. And Musgrave going to go with the truck on the bottom. Oh, just a little loose. He's trying to work with him so they can tag team and get by the 135. Every position worth 3 points. A little contact getting into the corner. Didn't get glued together, though, so that's good. And back to 17th again. Gotta keep bump drafting him. Might catch this next truck. 131. Couldn't actually bump draft him that time. Didn't quite get to his bumper. Now he's probably because he's got to run in the draft. Oh, trouble. Caution with 2 to go. Oh, man, that is not what we needed to see there. Our first caution of the race. Timothy Peters spins in turn 2. He backs it into the wall. The next truck further behind him hits him. Well, we don't go caution-free for the first time this season. We were, I mean, the leaders were, what, in 3 and 4? Or headed to turn 3 with 2 to go. We're definitely staying out. I would imagine everybody stays out. Everybody's good on field to the end. I don't know if we get a restart or not. This is either going to end the race or we're going to get a green-white checker, which I'm really hoping it just ends the race because we have old tires. I could be in danger of losing some spots here if we have to go another lap or 2. Oh, spun the tires on the restart. I heard that shift. That was tough. Well, 1 lap, green-white checker shootout. Musgrave spins the tires. Extremely old to the finish here. He's battling for it. Oh. Don't wreck. 8 wheels turn better than 4. Now we're 3 wide middle. Gosh darn it, this cost me. We just got to bring it back. We just got to bring it back. You know, we lose a couple positions. We lose a couple positions. We just got to bring it back. Oh, that slide cost me like 2 more spots. Could have been worse. Still hanging on to it. Still hanging on. Still hanging on. I'm loose in the tri-oval. We're good. I don't think I was going to make it another lap, but we made it. 21st. I lost 4 positions on the last lap. That caution cost me 12 points. Oh, man. 3 points per position outside the top 10. Yeah, that's tough. Well, and the caution was so late that if I took tires, yeah, I wouldn't have lost 4 spots on the last lap, but I don't think I would have gained any either. I don't really think the fuel only hurt us George Teague wins the race, by the way. He led one lap. It was the final lap of the race. He didn't lead the whole race. He gets a caution with 2 to go. Green, white checker, 1 lap restart. Takes the lead from Parker and wins it. Hornaday, who had the fastest truck, I think blew an engine at some point. It must have been like right after green flag pit stops. Yeah, he did. So Hornaday, who had the fastest truck, blew a motor with 21 to go while leading, apparently. Or maybe after he pit, but he blew a motor and finishes 31st. Well, doesn't finish, but ends up in the finishing order 31st. And one of 60 NFs. Jay Thomas, Bobby Hamilton, Todd Bodine, Art Clausen, Craig Kinzer, Ron Hornaday. They all blew an engine. So we still have not seen an actual driver from 2006 win a race other than ours driving as Ted Musgrave, which we have 3 wins in the first 10 races. And George Teague gets his first win of the season. And that will make him the 5th different winner of the year. And Bo Phillips, who won back-to-back coming in, does not win this race. Where did Phillips finish? He beat us. I don't think he was in the race. I think you get, what, like 34 points just for, well, that's in the Cup Series. 43 cars. 36 trucks. Yeah, I don't think Phillips raced. He missed a race. He won back-to-back races. Got to within 49 points of the lead. And I don't think he showed up the next week. Well, that's good for me, considering I finished 21st. That's wild. He's won 4 races, and he's only shown up for 9 of the 10. He's won almost half the races he's ran. That's insane. Well, we're going to actually extend our points lead despite finishing 21st, it looks like. Next race is at the Milwaukee Mile. Kind of a long race for the Truck Series. 200 laps. 200 miles. I did just hit mute. It was a little late. We're all right. But yeah, Milwaukee Mile, next one. Under the lights at the Milwaukee Mile. Not a day race like we've seen the last couple years for the Truck Series in real life. .149 lead over Bo Phillips. So Bo Phillips misses a race and loses 100 points. With me finishing 21st, I gained 100 points on him. Could you imagine if I would have won? If I would have won, I probably would have had about another 100 points or so. I didn't lead a lap either. Actually, that's the first race I haven't led a lap. We led 2 at Texas. I think we led because of pit strategy under a caution. Maybe it was a Busch Series I didn't lead a lap in one race. No, I led 2 at Dega. That was the least there. Okay, so this is the first race we did not lead a lap through the first 10. I only led 2 at Texas, 7 at Dover, 2 at Charlotte, 1 at California, 5 at Atlanta, 6 at Daytona. I only led 132 laps in the first 10 races. Means we don't add on to that total here today. But I still have a 149-point lead. I mean, that's like... It's weird. I haven't had a season like this. I mean, this feels like more natural, but it doesn't feel natural at the same time because we have such a big points lead now. With Phillips missing that race. Phillips would have... If he just would have raced today, he's won 4 races this season, all on 1-mile tracks and bigger. Like, this has been his bread and butter this year. I would like to think he would have at least competed for the win. Even if he gets a top 10, he's probably in the points lead. Top 5 for sure, he's in the points lead, but now he lost 100 points even when I finished 21st. Bill Lester 4th in the standings. We just got to continue to do our thing. Todd Bodine blew an engine. He's now back to 16th. Timothy Peters wrecked late. He's 23rd. Aaron Crocker's 33rd in points. She's top 5 in the Busch Series standings, but 33rd in the trucks. How does that make sense? It doesn't. Doesn't make sense. Marvin Sheth is Bo Phillips' teammate, and Sheth is 40th. Granted, he's probably not raced as many races, obviously, because there's only 36 trucks in the field. I mean, there's 36 trucks in the field. We've had 44 trucks start a race, so. If we win this championship by like less than 100 points over Phillips, we're going to look back to race 10 at Michigan and be like, you know, if he didn't miss that race, he would have won the title. I'll take what I can get. Chris Parker's close too, though. Closer. He finishes second. I mean, that caution doesn't count. Come out with 2 to go, coming to the white flag, and we don't get that green-white checker, Chris Parker wins. But fell to second on that last restart, dropped out of the lead. My average finish was 6.5 coming into the race, even with the 14th at Texas, so now it's going to be worse than that. But that's why we had such a strong start. I mean, up until 14th at Texas, and now 21st at Michigan. Listen to this string of races. 4th at California, 2nd at Atlanta, 1st at Martinsville, 1st at Old Spice, 2nd at Charlotte, 1st at Meadow Creek, 4th at Dover, and then 14, 21st. So we had like a really strong stretch of races from race 2 through 8. 30th at Daytona at the start of the season. That wasn't good, but yeah, I gotta just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. You know, finish races. Don't DNF. We are going to need decent finishes. Better than what we did today, that's for sure. 36 score 55. Yeah, so, and he got 0 because he didn't even start the race, so. Failed to qualify, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. DNQ. Although you would think he'd be locked into the. I don't think you can fail to qualify when you're second in points. I know the Cup Series did the top 36 in owners points where he locked in. I don't know what the trucks did at this time. I would imagine they took, you would think, at least the top 10, right? No DNF. Yeah, no DNF. We do have to get decent finishes, though. 149 is not completely safe. It's over one full race, but we still got 15 races to go. We got a long season yet. And it's not like the Mark Martin Revenge Tour season, like one race where I can go out and win any given weekend. We haven't had that speed. We look at the next races. Milwaukee is, I mean, it's a flatter track. Milwaukee should be good for me. IRP, Red Bull. I haven't raced Red Bull in the trucks, but we won the Busch race there. That Oasis, I think that's Rockingham, but it's Allstate Speedway on this game. But it's basically Rockingham. That's another intermediate track, so that's probably going to be tough for us. O'Reilly 250, I don't know where that's at off the top of my head. Unless that's IRP, but I don't think so. I think the Power Stroke Diesel 200, I think that's IRP. Well, IRP is coming up. That should be a good track for me, too. We got good tracks for us. Honestly, I think, you know, outside of Rockingham, I think we've got some good tracks for us in the next, like, 4 of the next 5 races could be winnable. Well, I don't know what they are, right? 3 of the next 5 races are winnable. So we get back to victory lane a few more times and then try to sit on our points lead because Dega is probably going to be tough for us. Usually is. I did finish 9th in the Busch race there, but that was also with the wagon. We haven't raced trucks there either, so I don't know if we'll have the same fuel glitch or not. That'll be interesting. So that could be an anything race if that happens. All right, yeah, that's going to end the stream. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back again, more NASCAR 07 Friday night tomorrow with no live commentary streams. We'll do a full race, and it will be at Phoenix for the Cup Series, by the way. So try to get back to victory lane with Dave Blaney again. Flat track, Phoenix is one of my better racetracks on this game. Obviously, you saw what I did in the Busch race there. Cup car might not be quite as quick with running as Dave Blaney, but I would imagine we'll still have a quick car, so see what we can do in that one. Thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your night, everybody. Kansas? Oh, yeah. Well, if it's Kansas, then that's not good for me. Because that's another mile and a half that we haven't won at yet on this. Our last two finishes are 14th and 21st on intermediates. The less intermediate tracks, the better. But yeah, I mean, we got Texas, Dega, Rockingham, Kansas, at least. I haven't raced Vegas yet. Vegas. Homestead, end of the season. We might go back to Atlanta a second time. I'm not entirely sure on that. Yeah, we got a lot of intermediate tracks left. We'll hope for the best. Okay, have a good